morning, hang on, God, it takes 25 seconds to start recording. What? 25 fucking minutes to start recording. Good. This morning, I went to the hospital and they took lots of blood. Therefore, I'm fucking empty. This morning, I went to the hospital and they took lots of blood.
Cet matin, je suis allée à l'hôpital. Ils ont prendre. No.
Pause, look at Lukey. Whenever we're in doubt, be selfish. Don't be a mom, don't be a wife or a concubine or whatever your formal role is. Go back to the je. How do you say I took? J'ai pris.
J'ai pris.
There you go. In your head, if ever you panic on a verb, go to the je. So if it's j'ai pris, what's they took?
Ils ont pris.
Lots of blood.
Beaucoup de sang.
Beaucoup de sang.
Sang.
Okay. Yep. So in where you live, if you want to give blood, you just go to Swansea. Where we live, if we want to go give blood, we go to the hospital. So go again. So this morning is masculine. Could you please say for me this morning, masculine morning? I don't mean I woke up with a stiffy. I mean all mornings are just masculine. All right. So off you go. This morning I went to the hospital and they took lots of blood. Go.
Ce matin.
Look at me. Do we learn genders knowing things are male or female? No. That's like an English language learning concept. We learn it from the high and the low. So set, is that a high sound or a low sound? Set, is that a high sound or a low sound?
Low. Sorry, hang on. No, it's high. I was high. Right the first time.
So, is that a low sound or a high sound?
Low.
And la, is that a high sound or a low sound?
High.
Good, perfect. And le, is that a low sound or a high sound?
A low sound. I got it.
Un, is that a high sound or a low sound?
High sound.
That's it. And is it a low sound or a high sound?
Low sound.
So basically, rather than going, this is a male word, this is a female word, just go un bureau, une table, la table. So sort of visualize it. So in other words, morning is a male word. So ce matin, off you go. So yes. This morning, I went to the hospital and they took lots of blood.
Ce matin, je suis allée à l'hôpital et ils ont pris beaucoup de sang.
Beaucoup de
sang.
That's it. Go again. That was lovely. That was very fucking nicely joined. Go again. Ce matin, je suis allée à l'hôpital et ils ont pris beaucoup de sang.
Ce matin, je suis allée à l'hôpital et ils ont pris beaucoup de sang.
Good. Now, if you were just speaking, I don't mind a bit of a we. Ouais, ce matin, je suis allée à l'hôpital et ils ont pris beaucoup de sang. But to push you guys, you advanced girls, into the listening, you need to get used to and the only way to get the brain used to doing that, it's not the complexity of the French, it's the length of the shit that's going to come together. So when that happens, can you please make sure that whatever sentence you're practicing, you do go all the way through in one go. No one's saying when you speak normally that you're not allowed to go, ouais, ce matin, je suis allé à l'hôpital et ils ont pris beaucoup de... That's all fine, all right, good. Okay, therefore, I need to eat a lot of food to replace what I lost. Therefore, they took like 5 vials or something. So, therefore, I need to. No, 9. Ask Gabby. She was on the phone with me. So, yeah. So, therefore, I need to eat a lot of food to replace what I've lost.
Donc, je suis besoin de manger beaucoup de.
I need. What's I need? J'ai. That's it.
Yeah, j'ai besoin de. That's it.
Nice accent. So, therefore, I need to eat lots of food to replace, in order to replace what I've lost. Okay?
Donc, j'ai besoin de manger beaucoup de food. I'm not sure. Nourriture.
Let me talk about food. The reason food, you think for French culture that like, there's not one great word for food in French. So if you're talking about what kind of food you like internationally, like you'd say cuisine, you know, la cuisine française, la cuisine italienne, whatever, la cuisine mexicaine. If you're talking food in a kind of nutritional way, you'd say alimentation. If you're talking food in a kind of like generic way, nourriture. And if you're talking food in a slang way, you'd say bouffe. And like they're mostly all feminine, you know. So it's like la bouffe, l'alimentation, you know, nourriture. So yeah. So if it's in a shopping way, des courses, you know, I'm going to go and buy food. Je vais faire des courses because that's like a grocery style shopping. But basically, I was eating nourriture. So it says me, I need to eat lots of food in order to replace what I've lost. Go.
J'ai besoin de manger beaucoup de nourriture pour remplacer
What when it's not a question? What when
ce
it's not a question?
ce qui
What when it's not a question?
ce que
Look at Lukey. Ce qui is what when it's not a question, when you follow it with a verb. And ce que is not when it's not is what when it's not a question, when you follow it with a thing doing a verb, the subject doing a verb.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So what I've lost. So what I've lost. So
ce que j'ai perdu.
Nice. Thank you for saying pair and not per like a cunt. Lovely. So lovely. So say to me, donc j'ai besoin de manger beaucoup de nourriture pour remplacer REM, remplacer ce que j'ai perdu. Go on.
Donc j'ai besoin de manger beaucoup de nourriture pour remplacer ce que j'ai perdu.
What compliment did I just give you that you just have now undone? Perdu, yeah?
Ah, j'ai perdu.
That's it. Okay, good. Okay. Therefore, today I'm late. But next week, everything will be normal. Therefore, today I'm late. But next week, everything will be normal.
Parce que
Therefore, now you
donc,
bitches all love pasta. You all love pasta. There's more to like than pasta. Therefore, today I'm late.
Donc, aujourd'hui, je suis plus retard.
Je suis en retard.
Ah, je suis en retard.
Let me have a quick conversation about early and late. If you mean, right, let's do early, then let's do late. Early's got loads of different words as well. If you mean, right, we were supposed to meet at, say, 9 o'clock to go for a drink. I'm here early, je suis là en avance. So if it's early compared to an agreed time, that is en avance. If you mean earlier as in like, just generally, oh, can we meet earlier, Luke? Because, you know, I really need a drink. Let's meet at 8 because I want to get bladdered. Plus tôt, more early, plus tôt. If you meant, oh, it's very early in the morning, yeah, fine, you know, de bonne heure, you know, like of good hour. So there's different kind of usages of the word early. The same with late. If you are late for an appointment, je suis en retard. Sorry, I can't open this tin with one hand. 1 second.
Carry on.
If you say, I can't open this tin with 2 hands, actually. That's why I was at rheumatology all morning. Yeah, so you'd be so disappointed in me. He said, do you mind taking your clothes off? And I didn't say one king thing. I was like, oh my God, I haven't even got it in me to do a wisecrack. I've sunk that low. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so in other words, if you said late, as in, oh shit, Luke, I'm really sorry I'm late. Je suis en retard. Later, plus tard. Late, as in like, I'm dealing at the moment with a child who's got a late adolescence, a late puberty. You've got adjectives like tardif and tardive as an adjective. But yeah, so good. So there's a lot of different earlys and lates. There's not just one word for it. Just remember which situation you're in. Good. So Stephanie, next week, everything will be normal. Next week, everything will be normal.
Next. La semaine. Next.
La semaine prochaine.
Prochaine, of course. La semaine prochaine,
yeah, sounds good. Will be normal.
Tout, c'est normal.
Will be normal.
Will be, no, yeah, I know. Tout serait normal.
Is that the correct ending? Will be?
Sera normal.
Good. Let's get back to all. Say for me, I eat.
Je mange.
Pardon me for eating and talking. What's I eat everything? Je mange tout.
Je mange tout.
Nice, you, Tess. Notice that then, if we're just being general, all, everything is T-O-U-T. It's the masculine. Yeah? So, tout. So everything will be tout sera normal, right? Good. There's a very good little video. If you can't find it, let me know. Just type everything into my YouTube channel and it goes over everything, nothing, something. So hang on, everything, everybody, everyone, everywhere, nothing, nowhere, nothing, nowhere. You know, all somebody, something. Yeah, it goes to all of those and stuff. And that's a really useful video. I'll, I'll pin it underneath and I'll ping it you. Right? Good. Yeah. Lovely. I was surprised. So when I entered the building, I was surprised. Here's your clue. Action, I was surprised. When I entered the building, I was surprised because there wasn't anybody there. When I entered the building, I was surprised because there wasn't anybody there. Okay?
Quand j'ai entré... No. Yeah. Quand j'ai entré...
When you use entered with j'ai entré, that'd be like entering numerical data. I entered is a movement verb. So quand je...
Oh, quand je suis... Entré, still entré, yeah. Quand je suis entré,
when I entered the building, quand je suis entré dans le bâtiment. So things to remember with entré is it likes dans. Je suis entré dans le bâtiment. Yep. And secondly, there's a couple of other être verbs that aren't always être. So I put up the poster. J'ai monté l'affiche. I took down the poster. J'ai descendu. I went up myself. Je suis monté. I came down myself. Je suis descendu. I went out. Je suis sorti. I took out my penis wallet. Let's go with wallet. J'ai sorti. Okay. So some of the verbs that you know as être verbs aren't always être verbs. You can use them with have if you're going to do it with something else. Right, off we go. So I when I entered the building, so quand je suis entré dans le bâtiment, off we go. When I entered the building.
Quand je suis entré dans le bâtiment.
Dans le bâtiment.
Dans le bâtiment. Quand je suis entré dans le bâtiment.
Okay, hang on, not bottom. No one's anything.
I know, bâtiment.
Okay, lovely. Okay. Private life, you're right. Private life, you're right. Next up, I was surprised. Now, I deliberately told you this is an action. What do actions in the past have, Tess? Actions have
auxiliaries.
Right. So even though you're hearing was, if it's referring to bung, all of a sudden I was surprised, it's not going to be j'étais rather than the 1, 2, 3 version of that tense, which will be
j'ai eu.
Correct idea for the verb to be j'ai été.
J'ai été surpris.
That's it. Été spelled E-T-E. So in other words, was when isn't was a was isn't was when it's a surprise. Yeah. Shut up, Luke. Not a surprise when it's an action. So, for example, all last year I was fine description j'étais. When I opened the door, I was cold. All of a sudden, a change taking place. J'ai eu froid or j'ai été. You know, it's going to be like the passé composé. Good. Okay. And how do I do? There wasn't anybody. Right. Nobody.
No person, nobody.
You've given me everything I need, just not together. What is there is in the present tense? What is there is?
Il y a.
What's that in the was tense, Madari?
Il y avait. Yeah.
And no pop nobody on the end.
Il y avait non person. No.
Right.
No person.
You're being clever and you're being pure. There's a first. And you're remembering that person likes a no. It does like a no. Like every other usage of ne in French, apart from commands where you have a pronoun, like don't do it, ne le fais pas. Negative verbs, je suis content de ne pas sortir. Most of these ne's are flexible, orally, not written down. So in other words, how do you say I see?
J'ai vu. I see. No, I see. Je vois.
Right.
Oui.
And with one more word, how do you say I don't see anybody? I see nobody. Je vois.
Je vois pas.
No, I don't see anybody. Je vois.
Oh. Je vois pas. Attends.
What's the
Je
word you
vois
just told me?
personne.
No, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Grammatically, je ne vois personne. Yeah, that's fine. But moi, je vois personne. Yeah. Likewise, say for me, Luke. Luke knows me. How do you say Luke knows me?
Luc me sait.
Luke me con.
Oh. Connaître. Yeah.
Hang on, give me
Luc
the
me
song.
connaît.
That's it. Say for me, nobody knows me, and just swap Luke for one word. Nobody knows me.
Personne me connaît.
That's it. So the trick with nobody is to remember. So you did very well. You understood the main trick, which was just nobody. Anybody with a negative verb becomes nobody with an affirmative verb in French. But the fact is, nobody can either be the subject or the object. I know nobody. Nobody knows me. I don't know anybody. So in other words, so yes, you are welcome and obliged in written French to pop a ne with personne. So it works like this. If the personne is the subject, it's personne ne, strictly. So nobody knows me, personne ne m'aime. Orally, personne m'aime is fine, but personne ne m'aime is better French. I know nobody. I don't know no one. I don't know anybody. Je ne connais personne is the note. You'll notice that the ne comes before there. Yeah, okay, good, lovely. Good. So in total, we have quand je suis entré dans le bâtiment, j'ai été surpris. Well done for saying it masculine because you're translating for me. Il n'y avait personne. Lovely. I action. I had to wait for 20 minutes because the nurse was eating her lunch.
Okay.
There's a sign up saying the department will be closed. Now, I'm a big believer in people having the appropriate break, but it's a bit like, there's fucking 10 of us outside. Could you not get your colleague? So anyway, so I had to wait for 20 minutes because the nurse was eating her lunch. Go.
J'ai besoin de. Attends. Oh no. Yeah. Or had. Oh, have I?
Had to is in the past. So you can use buzz one, but I need to show it's in the past.
J'ai.
Yeah, but I need to show it. Right. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to go. I was confused whether I go j'ai or j'avais.
Right. Neither. Look at me. What's the verb to eat?
Manger.
What is I ate in the past?
J'ai mangé.
And you feel that's past because it's got a and then a past participle.
Mm-hmm.
What is I need in the present? Assuming that we're using buzz one.
J'ai besoin de.
Lovely. And notice that we've got an A there. So your brain musically thinks j'ai plus a word means the past. But in the expressions j'ai besoin is not a verb, is it? Besoin is like a noun. So you're actually creating a form of a compound, a phrasal verb. But your brains all go, oh yeah, j'ai besoin, I needed, because you think it's in the past, like I ate. But what do I always say the trick is with a phrasal verb? Find out what the verb is inside the phrasal verb. So in j'ai besoin, what verb is lurking in the middle there?
Yeah, avoir.
So if I now wanted to say I needed in another tense, I take have and I stick have in the appropriate tense. Now, on this occasion, I want it to be a one-off action. So all of a sudden, I needed.
J'ai
so,
eu.
Besoin de.
Oh, yeah, right. That's a beast.
But whenever you've got no, but it's a very common error. So all of your brains go, oh yeah, j'ai plus word is past. J'ai plus past participle is past. J'ai plus like I'm. Okay, so give me another example then. So if I said I'm hot, but I meant like temperature hot rather than Trust me, they've taken 9 vials of blood out of me. I doubt I could if I wanted to. So there's not enough spare. So how would you say I'm hot? J'ai chaud. Pardon me. With that verb, j'ai chaud, it's a compound, isn't it? It's like a big phrasal, messy, lots of words together. Like just to be clear on terminology, Some people call these compounds, but that's also slightly confusing because a verb composé, a compound verb, also in language means like Luc has eaten, Luc a mangé, Luc aura mangé. So to some French grammar teachers, a compound verb means any verb with an auxiliary. Other people call them phrasal verbs, which I like as a term because it's like, a bag of fucking shit together. Whether that, and that could be anything. It could just, there's more than one word. It could just remind you, that you need more than one word. So as in commencer à rather than commencer. Or it could get as big as se, s'occuper de. There's a bit of a phrasal. I mean, admittedly, a pattern we know well in ABC. All languages have phrasals, like to get on with Tess. You're Welsh to watch television. You've got like to watch two. More than, so anything that's more than the one verb is like a phrasal. And when you've got that, you just have to go right. As much as it's a big bag of tricks and a big bag of shit, there's only ever going to be one verb in it which can be conjugated. So if I gave you I am hot, temperature-wise, j'ai chaud. Again, Tess, which verb is sitting in the middle of it?
Avoir.
Great. So if I wanted to say I was hot, use avoir, pop that in the appropriate tense. How would you say I was hot?
J'ai eu chaud.
But without me tipping you off, if I just said was in a general description, you'd go j'avais.
Oh, j'avais.
That's it. J'avais. So the normal verb is j'ai chaud. So what's the was tense going to be?
J'avais chaud.
That's it. If it's I was hot, well remembered from earlier, but like all of a sudden, as in when they opened the oven door, I was hot, that then would be j'ai eu chaud. Yeah. So consequently, what's I will be hot? So I know very well. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
J'aurais.
That's it. I would have been hot if it weren't for the air conditioning. I would have been. J'aurais eu. It's you're just going to do all the conjugations of the little verbs. So that's a good rule for any phrasal verb. Good, lovely. So good. There was a guy of about 60 who had the best boots, the best coat, and the best hat. I was like, damn, he looks just so damn cool. And Gabby, I said, God, there's this guy, he's about 60, he's got the best shoes, the best coat, the best. And she went, is he black? And I went, no. She goes, what colour is he? And I went, white guy. She went, oh. As in, she didn't expect some white guy to be that cool. I was like, okay, Gabby, thank you for your inverted racism as a white woman from the north. You look really, really cool. All right, so save me. There was a guy who was wearing the best boots, the best coat, and the best cap.
Il y avait, il y avait un mec, il portait le même...
Pause. Oh. That's not bad French, but who was wearing? There was a guy who was wearing, il y avait un mec
qui porte...
Was tense, qui porte...
qui portait le best, le mieux?
No. We've done this before. 2 errors. Pick A or B. Which one do you want to be taught first? Pick A or B.
A.
I never had you down as such a logic person. Oh, right. Slightly disappointed. First rule. This is really easy. Once you've heard this, you'll never do this again. There's certain adjectives which precede the word, and we always just go the same, le même, le prochain, whatever. Remember that needs to be gender appropriate or plurality appropriate. So the best boots, unless you're Heather Mills McCartney, the Parasite, and anybody else who I'm really sorry, brave lads who've given their limbs for this bloody country, or any country, or they just went out in Abbotsford, they went out in Swansea, and most people, luckily, how many boots do we have? Plural, all right? So how do you say the boots? Just plural.
Les bondage. Les bottes.
Did you say the bondage?
No, I didn't. Bot.
Okay, les bottes. Boots and bondage can be brought together. Okay, lovely. Boots and bondage can come together. It's good when you come together. So basically, So basically, boots is les bottes. So the first thing is, if it was the same boots, then how would you say the same boots?
Les mêmes bottes.
That's it. And people always want to go le même. I'm like, focus on the word before. Right. Next thing. With the exception of it's before it, like c'est bien and c'est bon, which is its own complication of different rules, which I've given you before. I will pop the video underneath. With the exception of c'est bien versus c'est bon, generally, and no offense to Americans, if you can handle, well, not all Americans that say, honey, did you sleep? Honey, did you sleep good? No, bitch, I slept well. So generally, most of the time, if you can manage to know the difference between bien and bon, you know whether you're going to use meilleur and mieux. So very basically, as I've said to you before, the first thing to understand is better and best in English are whores. They are everywhere, not slut shaming. So basically, if you said, Luke speaks well, Jesus speaks better, God speaks the best. So that is an adverb, isn't it? In other words, we've souped up well. So Luke speaks well, Jesus speaks better, God speaks the best. Luke's French is good, fucking should be. Jesus's French is better. God's French is the best. So in other words, in English, we use better and best, and the best a lot of the time for both the adverb and the adjective, and that's the pisser. So the rule in French is generally, if you are in the bon camp, the good camp, no, I'd give you an easy way. If you are in the bien camp, B-I-E, then one up is mieux, M-I-E, and another one up is le mieux. Notice there ain't no gender to le mieux. So if it's like Luke speaks well, Luc parle bien, Tess speaks better, Tess parle mieux, Tess speaks the best. Tess might be very female, but when it's an adverb, there's no la mieux, it's just le mieux for everybody. Or Tess and, the lovely Zach, the lovely Graham, the lovely Max, they speak the best. Ils parlent le mieux. It's still going to be single L-E because bien doesn't have any of the genders or pluralities to it. So neither will the ones above it. So in other words, we go bien, up one, mieux, i.e. again, up one, le mieux. If we were on bon, okay, then bon up one is meilleur. Yeah, and that can have 4 different spellings. Meilleur with an E, with an S, with an ES, with whatever. The best would be le meilleur, la meilleure, les meilleurs. So that one has got the variation. So the trick is to remember IE goes with bien and EI goes with bon. Yeah. So for example, if you said the guy was wearing the best boots, would you say that boots are bien or would you say that boots are good? Would you say that they're bon? Which would you say?
Bien.
Okay. In other words,
No.
are boots a noun or a verb?
Oh, a noun, yeah.
So they'd be good. Would you say he's got well boots or he's got good boots?
Good boots, bon.
Yeah, see what I mean? Okay, so there's better words in French for, good boots, in French. But you take my point. So nouns would generally be in the bon camp. But all I'm saying is, so therefore, if you're in the bon camp, you're going to be in meilleur and les meilleurs. So he's got the best boots. Il porte les meilleures bottes. All right, okay. Lovely. So in other words, if you've got bien, go to mieux and le mieux. If you've got bon, go to meilleur and les meilleurs, or le la les meilleurs, whatever the gender is. Good, okay. Now, how do you say the coat? The coat. Normally, just the coat.
Le chapeau?
That would be hat, just the coat for le manteau.
Oh, menton. Menton?
Which is a noun. So how would you say the best coat?
Le bon menton? No, the meilleur. The meilleur menton.
Okay, manteau. Yeah,
manteau, sorry. Le meilleur manteau.
How would you say the best hat?
Le meilleur chapeau.
Good. I stole them. Punched him in the face, knocked the fucker out, spark cold. Well, don't judge me, Tess. There was a nurse there to take care of him. I'm not a total, I'm a Samaritan. So say to me, I stole them. Action, I stole them.
Not quite sure. Rich.
Is this an action? Yeah, what's I stole? J'ai volé.
Voler.
Yeah, which also means fly. I know that's kind of, because guys, if you are going to shoplift, you need to fly out of there. Listen to Auntie Lukey, all right? So basically, as you well know, Tess. So basically, or I stole, I nicked, j'ai piqué.
J'ai piqué.
J'ai
Or
piqué, yeah.
j'ai volé. So, j'ai volé.
Lovely, yeah. So I stole them. Je les.
Oh, je les ai volés.
What's the auxiliary for an I? Je les.
Je les ai volés.
That's it. Now, there might not be anything else other than that your mouth has got more experience saying les a than les ai. There might be nothing in it more than that. But could you say to me, je les ai volés?
Je les ai volés.
Good. I ran very quickly towards the bus stop.
Je courais.
J'ai couru. J'ai couru.
Oh, I was thinking, never mind. J'ai couru.
Very quickly.
Trop vite.
Très vite, lovely. Towards.
Avant.
Vers. V-E-R-S.
Oh,
vers.
towards, yeah. Vers le.
We call it the bus stop, literally. L'arrêt de bus. L'arrêt de bus.
L'arrêt de bus. Okay.
Okay.
L'arrêt de bus.
But.
Mais.
It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair.
Ce n'était pas.
Begin to the J. It wasn't
Juste.
Well done, Tess. Because.
Parce que.
When I tried to find his card, because I nicked his wallet as well. So when I tried to find his card.
Quand j'essaie.
Action, quand j'ai essayé, yeah.
Quand j'ai essayé trouver son.
What comes after essayer? Essayer.
Ah oui, quand j'ai essayé de trouver son carte.
Feminine,
sa carte.
Okay. There was too much blood. It just kept slipping and all. Oh, God. Why old people, they bleed so easily from the head. There was too much blood.
Il y a, no, not serious.
Was tense.
Il y avait beaucoup de sang.
Give me too much blood.
Il y avait beaucoup de sang. No. Trop sang.
Look at me. The words I'm about to give you can either be used with a noun or with a verb. A bit like what we were just talking about with Maya. So, for example, I eat a lot. Je mange beaucoup. I eat too much. Definitely. Je mange trop. I eat less. Not really, but je mange moins. Those same words, or even I eat very little. Je mange, peu, très peu. If those same words, when they are accompanying nouns, they need a de after them. Exactly the same words. So I eat a lot, je mange beaucoup, but I eat lots of fish, je mange beaucoup de poisson. I eat too much, je mange trop. I eat too much fish, je mange trop de poisson. I eat less, je mange moins. I eat less beef, je mange moins de bœuf. Be careful, because if they went on their own, where do adverbs go, Tess? Adverbs after verb number
1.
That's it. So the only time in life where one finger is enough, Tess. So basically, if you said I ate, j'ai mangé, I ate too much, j'ai trop mangé, I ate too much pizza, j'ai mangé trop de pizza. So the word would have to go with a de. So in other words, you just have to remember that sometimes these words have a de. Yeah, sometimes these words have a de. So say for me, there was too much blood. So again, now because I'm referring to a quantity, up you go. So there was too much blood.
Il y avait beaucoup.
No.
Sorry. Il y avait trop de sang.
That's it. Okay, good. But.
Mais.
I went to the toilet.
J'ai eu à la toilette. Je suis allée à toilette. Oh no.
Okay, yeah. I removed the little old woman who needed to use it. God, they're everywhere. Fucking hell. There were so many oldies in hospital. I removed the little. I worked with that laboratory in Wuhan to create something that would get rid of all. Off you go. So
I'm going for lance. I'm not sure if it's the right one. J'ai lancé.
I threw. Good idea, Tess. I should have thrown her. No, I removed. J'ai
enlevé.
Now, careful. Your muscle memory. This is why I always say a sentence from the beginning to the end. Your muscle memory likes enlève as an individual word. So j'enlève. Yeah. So the guy said to me, remove your t-shirt. Enlève. He actually, like I told you earlier, he asked me to take everything off. Gabby said to me earlier, what's the French for to get undressed? I said, oh, Gabby, you do disappoint me. You did have an uneventful besançon if you didn't learn that. So you can either say enlève, So it's one of the verbs that the infinitive is enlever. But when you say the short form, you're going to gain a grave. Okay? So j'enlève. Lovely. So the infinitive is enlever, but the short form is enlève. But so I removed, j'ai enlevé. Yep, lovely. How would you say an old lady?
Madame, hang on. Madame, bloody hell, not sure. Oh,
I know nobody's like
no, it's big. No, I'm not sure. Not quite sure. Of great age, grand âge, something like that.
That's good French. I know because the booze, fags, and drugs, nobody goes over 60 really in Swansea. But the fact is, here they often do. So the fact is, the polite thing is une personne or une dame or une femme plus âgée. Yeah,
oh, that's it. I knew there was âgée somewhere.
Say une vieille dame, une vieille, une vieille, yeah, une vieille, or rudely une vieille. Or there's this old bitch over the road. Yeah, putain, you said vieille, but that's obviously not a nice thing to say. Yeah. So save me. There was an old lady. Il y avait une vieille dame.
Il y avait une vieille dame.
Lovely. I removed her. Je l'ai enlevée.
J'ai enlevé.
Je l'ai enlevée. And the nurse came.
No, that's doctor. I'm not sure the word for nurse.
I didn't think we had any doctors left. I thought they just claimed £120,000 salaries and hid behind plastic perspex while the nurses did all the work. Infirmière.
Oh, infirmière, yeah. So, l'infirmier est arrivé.
Pause. Save me, I arrived.
J'arrivais. Oh, je suis arrivé.
Save me, I came.
J'ai venu.
It's amazing the amount of women that aren't practiced in saying the sentence I came. How would you say I came?
Je suis venu.
Because it's another retroverb. Lovely.
Yeah, of course, movement. Yeah.
So remember the trick test. If you're in any momentary doubt, use a je and find your verb. I'm fine to carry on. Do you need to go on the hour?
Yeah, I've got class coming. So
okay. So next week I won't be at the hospital beforehand. So that's fine. Good. Love you loads. Well fucking done. Good.
Thanks.